I've had candidates who have begged me for endorsements, and I have not. I've stayed out of it. But there's so much going on in this particular election that I have no choice but to intervene. And I'm going to give you the rawest breakdown of these judicial candidates that you've probably ever heard. Because so many people they're lying on their literature, they're lying in videos.
Do you think that I'm lying?
Talk about this is the Patricia Stephens race and Damon Watson race. It is particularly vile.
Do you have any idea how many children have been separated from their fathers because of Patricia Stephens being in that courtroom and on that bench?
In front of Patricia Stephens, who are coming after her like crazy.
You think somebody would go through this much trouble to warn the people of Jefferson County if something really bad wasn't wrong?
I know her level of integrity that she has, and I support her fully.
No, Mr. Guster, I went 3 years without seeing my daughter.
Mr. Guster, I just saw your video, and you're talking about these men coming after Patricia Stephens. We're not coming after Patricia Stephens. What we're trying to do is we're trying to expose to the public, the Jefferson County electorate. We're trying to expose to them what Patricia Stephens does so that they don't make the same mistake that they made last time and elect her again. Do you have any idea how many children have been separated from their fathers because of Patricia Stephens being in that courtroom and on that bench? I am one of them. Do you think that I'm lying? You think that I made this up just because I want to attack Patricia Stephens because I lost some property? No, sir. That's not why. That is not why I made this video. I made this video because I was separated from my daughter for 3 years. Have you ever been separated from your child for 3 years? And I met some people along the way. When I started exposing Patricia Stephens, other people began to come out of the closet. I met Terrence. Terrence went 5 years. 5 years without seeing his child. I met another guy today over the phone. He went 6 years. We are not coming out and attacking Patricia Stephens. We are coming out and exposing the truth so that more children in the future don't get separated from their fathers for absolutely no good reason. That is what we're doing. Just about an hour ago, I put a post on your page so that people that you are telling to vote Patricia Stephens could see my video and what she did to my daughter and the reasoning she used on giving the mother full custody after the mother kept her from her father for 3 years. Not only her father, but her 2 older sisters. 2 older sisters that Patricia Stephens didn't speak to on the last 2 court dates. And my daughters were furious with her because they were trying to tell Patricia Stephens what their mother had done to them and was doing to their younger sister. But Patricia Stephens didn't feel the need to speak to the older daughters. But to get back to my Facebook post, I posted on your page my video, and within 2 minutes it was gone. But yet you claim to be transparent.
And this is going to be the most transparent breakdown you've ever seen, because
no, Mr. Guster, you're not transparent. You have a reason to pull for Patricia Stephens. Well, I have a reason to expose Patricia Stephens. And all I can say is God help the families that end up standing in front of this woman in the future. And I don't want the future to be as bleak as the last 6 years of the past. Vote Damon Watson, people. This man knows what it feels like to be without his child. And I can promise you, once you know that feeling, you will never do it to someone else. Patricia Stephens doesn't know that feeling. And who knows what her agenda is. But I can tell you one thing. There's a lot of men that have been separated from their children, and a lot of children that didn't know where their dads disappeared to. If you listen to these men, they are all saying the same thing. I was separated from my child. My child had no father. And that is what Patricia Stephens has a name for herself for. So, people, on Tuesday, please don't do this to more children in the next 6 years. Let's clean up domestic relations, and we can start by throwing Patricia Stephens out.
Hey, Mr. Guster. You think somebody would go through this much trouble to warn the people of Jefferson County if something really bad wasn't wrong? No, Mr. Guster. I went 3 years without seeing my daughter, and my daughter had to have 2 counselors when she finally was able to be with me. Had to have 2 counselors pray with her outside the door before she met her father. Why? Why? Because Judge Patricia Stephens would not do her job as a judge and hold my ex-wife accountable, with contempt of court. And she let her get away with it for 3 years, over and over and over, with the child not seeing her father, not seeing her 2 older sisters. She was actually scared of her sisters, me, my family. This doesn't need to happen. Domestic relations, in my experience, was a disaster. And the disaster started with that woman, right there. That's who did it. That's who I blame. Because this shouldn't have happened. And it's not just in my case. Patricia Stephens does this in a lot of cases. And there's a lot of children out there that don't know what happened to their dads. You think that feels good as a child? I don't think so. I can't imagine it. But yet, Patricia Stephens has no problem with it. I went 3 years. Terrence went 5 years. And like I said, last night I was on the phone with a guy named Lewis, and he went 6. This has got to stop. Vote Damon Watson, people. Let's put an end to this.